What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the 2021 Subaru Legacy Touring XT. So the Legacy here was fully redesigned back in 2020, so obviously the 2021 isn't going to have that many changes, but we will talk about the three main differences here for the 2021 model year, as well as just take an overview type of look at the Touring XT here from front to back. So let's get started. So starting up front with the grille here, you have a very simple Subaru grille here. Nothing too crazy and nothing we haven't seen before, but it is a really nice, simplistic front end. Big, beautiful Subaru badge, a lot of chrome elements here, especially the wing tips here. Then a little bit of a matte black look all the way down to the bottom of the front fascia. You do have a 180-degree front-facing camera, which we'll talk about in just a little bit. Some more chrome bits here around the LED fog lights that you get here on the Touring. As far as the headlights go, the cluster looks exactly the same as it did in the previous model year. It's the same design that Subaru's running with almost across the board. You do have LED daytime running lights, you have an incandescent turn signal, and then you do have an adaptive front lighting system. Now that is one of the big changes for this model year 2021 is that the adaptive front lighting system is now standard across the board. You already had LED headlights standard, but now that adaptive front lighting system is included there, no matter what trim level you pick up. Body colored piece splits the fascia. Then again, that matte black cladding. Up under the hood of the XT here, you do have the 2.4 liter turbocharged boxer engine. That'll get you 260 horsepower, 277 pound-feet of torque, 32 miles per gallon highway, 24 miles per gallon city, and that is one of the two engine options. You can also get a 2.5 liter non-turbocharged engine on some other trim levels, but since this is the XT, it has the turbocharged engine. Now this Legacy sits on 18-inch aluminum alloy wheels, nice design, nothing too crazy, but Subaru always does a great job with their wheels. Moving on back, you have chrome trim that surrounds the windows here. On the mirror caps itself, you have kind of a three-tone look with this satin cap, black accent that runs down the middle, and then another chrome bit down at the bottom to kind of connect the window trim and the side mirror together. Integrated turn signals, blind spot monitoring, these are heated, and they are power folding. So if you do lock the car, these things will go ahead and fold right in. No camera system of any kind up underneath, but you do have some welcome lighting there. Moving on back, you have these two-tone door handles with a body colored piece and then a chrome piece that runs down the center. Again, this has your keyless access right there. Up top, you do have a sunroof as well, which is a nice feature. Of course, you have Subaru's award-winning EyeSight driver assist system with a plethora of safety features. This is, of course, standard on every Legacy. So moving to the back of the Legacy, nothing again has changed since 2020, but you still have some nice features back here. These taillights have a really cool design with this black cladding on the outside. They're a little bit sculpted, but nothing too crazy. Chromed badging all the way around. Subaru badging here, rear camera, push button to open it up here. No power gate or anything like that. Decent sized cargo area, about 15.1 cubic feet. You do have your regular mats back here that have the Napa brown leather around them. Up underneath you have some tools, but no spare tire. Black plastic cladding up underneath, and then you have split dual exhaust tips, but that's pretty much everything here on the exterior. Let's hop inside the cabin. All right, so hopping inside the cabin of the 2021 Legacy, I absolutely love this cabin. There's so much to talk about, so let's just go ahead and get right into it. Starting up front with this heated leather wrapped steering wheel here in black. It is a manual tilt and telescoping steering wheel. You have your volume control on the left side. You have your adaptive cruise control and lane centering on the right side. Heated steering wheel button up underneath. You have your little digital cluster controls right here. You also have paddle shifters behind the steering wheel for your manual mode. Past the steering wheel, you have two analog gauges with a little digital cluster in the middle. I really wish Subaru would push it a little bit with their display clusters. They have analog gauges on every single model that they make. I wish they'd maybe take a little bit of a step, but they are coming out with an EV soon, so maybe we'll get some digital clusters there. Moving on over, you have your DriverFocus distraction mitigation system up top. It's a little bar. It has infrared lights that kind of scan your face, not only to recognize drivers so you can switch profiles and things like that, but also to make sure your eyes are staying on the road, and it will beep at you if you're not. Moving on down from that, you have your 11.6-inch Subaru Starlink Infotainment Center. This is a great system. It's got a lot of really nice functionality. A couple things I don't like as much, which I'll talk about in just a second. But if you want kind of an in-depth look at this screen, definitely check out the card above and the link in the description. I did a full review of this entire system. One feature that is not my favorite is the built-in navigation powered by TomTom. It's just not very responsive. It works fine, but it's just like laggy, and I would never use it in any circumstance, and I don't really think you should have to pay more for it, but it's there nonetheless. You got radio, Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You've got your My Subaru app. You have your car info and things like that. Now, there's a lot of features hidden deep in this menu system, and I have a video coming out very soon. It may be out by the time you're watching this. If it is, it'll be linked above and in the description, but I'm going to be doing my top 5 hidden features inside the 2021 Subaru Legacy, so definitely hit subscribe so you don't miss that video. But there's a lot of nice features in there that you can mess with. One thing that they changed in recent years, which is really nice, is they put the auto start stop disable button right on the home screen. You used to have to dig through the settings to find it, but now it's just right here, nice and easy. You can just push that button and it will turn off, which is great. You have all your climate control systems on this screen too. You can adjust the temperature up and down with physical buttons, but everything else is hidden inside of that climate control menu, which kind of a pro, kind of a con. One thing that I definitely think is a con is this rear view camera. If you go ahead and put it in reverse, you can see it. It only takes up about 6 inches worth of that 11.6 inch screen, and it's not in the appropriate aspect ratio. I just don't think it looks that good, and it's a very low res camera considering this is a 2021 model. So I definitely think they could work on that, but you know, that's something you could easily fix. Also, your 180-degree front-facing camera is the same deal. It's great to have, but like it doesn't look good, so why would you use it? You know what I mean? But I mentioned outside that there were 3 things that changed for 2021. One of them was standard adaptive front lighting, which we talked about outside. 2 and 3 are both on the inside. One is that on this little digital cluster now, when you turn off the car, it will give you a rear seat reminder, just telling you to check your back seat if you've had something back there that crosses the weight limit. Also, up top over to the right above the passenger airbags section, you will see 3 little seats, icons that will tell you if your rear seat passengers are buckled in or not, which is great. Other features inside the cabin, you do have an auto-dimming rearview mirror with universal HomeLink garage door controls and a compass. Fantastic. I love the look of this mirror. It's very premium. Up top, you do have your sunroof controls right here. You can open that right up. EyeSight driver assist, like I mentioned outside. Over on the left side, you don't have very many controls. You do have your power mirror folding button, which you can hit right there. You do have 2-way position memory for your driver's seat. You'd have auto one-touch up and down windows on all 4 windows, and then you've got your lock and unlock buttons, and you have your infotainment screen brightness controls over on the left side. Moving on down from the infotainment center, you have your I/O area. You have 2 USB-A ports and a 3.5mm jack. This Touring also has a Qi-enabled wireless charging pad for compatible devices, electronic parking brake, button for your 180-degree front-facing camera, and then you have your shift knob here for your Lineartronic CVT, and it is a high-torque Lineartronic CVT here with the XT model specifically. Moving on back, you have 2 cup holders, little puck inside for easy cleaning. 2-way center console here. The first part is just a flat mat, and then if you lift that up, you actually have a little bit more of a pocket with a 12-volt outlet and a CD player on the inside. So for all you people out there that still like to listen to CDs, you do have that here on the 2021 Legacy. You also have the Harman Kardon premium audio system here on the Touring, which is great. Now, as far as seating surfaces go, these are a leather trimmed seat in Sierra brown, kind of a two-tone. They have a little bit of black accent on the back with contrast stitching. They are perforated, heated and ventilated for driver and passenger, heated for back seat as well. And the driver is a 10-way power adjustable with lumbar support and 2-way position memory. The passenger is an 8-way power adjustable seat. As far as other designs in the cabin, like I mentioned, this is one of my favorite looking sedans on the inside. And I think a lot of it has to do with the two-tone brown that they have going. Again, we have a crimson red exterior and this Sierra brown interior, and that just the combo of those two things looks fantastic. And in here, you do have that brown and black contrast. So a lot of the materials up top are like a soft touch rubber. Over on the driver's side, soft touch rubber as well. You have a little bit of kind of a faux leather accent, and then you have the actual leather trim right here with the contrast stitching, more of the black. So basically the top half of the cabin is the Sierra brown, and then the bottom half is like either a soft touch leather trimmed or a hard touch plastic in black. So the contrast of those two things is really nice. And then as far as accents go, you have a little bit of piano black plastic and then some nice satin chrome that kind of runs around the cabin. It's got a lot of colors going on with the Sierra brown, black, chrome, piano black, all that kind of stuff blending together. But I think really it is a nice blend and looks really nice together. And there's not too much piano black plastic, which is just a fingerprint and dust magnet. So I like that they kind of took some of that away. It's only in certain parts of the cabin, which I think works. Now let's take a quick look at the rear seat. Now, these are definitely pretty roomy. Again, I had my seat pretty far back where I would sit comfortably at 6'1", and I've got, you know, not a ton of knee space, but definitely a little bit with the way the seat kind of arcs back here. It's comfortable enough. I can put my feet up underneath if I need a little bit of extra space. But, you know, if you're over 6'1", you start to get the 6'2", 6'3" range, your knees are probably gonna be pushed up against here, and there's no real way to scoot the seat back or lean it back, so you're kind of stuck with what you got. You're gonna have to ask your front seat driver to kind of scoot forward a little bit for you. You do have map pockets in both of these seats. Now, the seats themselves are super, super comfortable with that leather appointed seat, and you do have a heated option back here as well, and 2 USB-A ports. So as far as comfort goes, it's top notch. As far as spacing goes, it's not horrible. All right, let's take the Legacy out for a quick spin here. Let's get a startup sound. Now, I did already talk about the seating comfort. It is top notch. These leather appointed seats are absolutely wonderful to sit in, really. I absolutely love them, especially with that cooled option in the summer and that heated option in the winter. Also, having a little bit of thigh support at the bottom makes these things fantastic for me. But again, we are in the 2.4 liter turbocharged XT engine. So let's go ahead and give it some turbo juice here. So a decent amount of acceleration. You know, it definitely has a little bit of a lag as you get typically with that CVT. Now, they've done a lot better with the lag as of recently in some of these newer Subarus, so it's not as bad, anywhere near as bad as it used to be. All right. Yeah, there's a definite lag. I put my pedal to the floor right there, and there was a good like 2-second delay there before it actually started going. So just keep that in mind. It's not slow by any means, it just takes a sec to get going. There's no SI drive option either, so there's no way to really tune your acceleration curve in any kind of way. We're gonna test out the adaptive cruise control here on this road. Set it at about 45 miles an hour. You can't really take your hands off the wheel, but you can kind of keep them to the side. And it shows that the lane centering is active. If not, you have to hit that button there. And it shows the 2 painted lines, and we should be good to go with that lane centering. You can kind of see it turn the wheel a little bit. It'll bark at me here in a sec though. But it does do a relatively good job of keeping you in the lanes, as long as you have nice, clean painted lines. You see, there it goes, keep your hands on the steering wheel. If not, it kind of starts to drift a little bit. This car in front of me is slowing down quite a bit. I'm not applying any brake pressure at all. It did that all by itself. And it's speeding back up now. So really good job there. Now, usability on this display is not bad at all. Again, the climate control being digital has its pros and cons. I think as far as driver usability, it's more of a con. I think with passenger, it's not that bad. Radio and media controls are all fine. Not really challenging at all. I don't think there's any problem there. Again, you do have the updated CarPlay system that uses the entirety of the screen. If you want to see a video on that, definitely check the card above and link in description. I did a whole video on how they updated that CarPlay system. Go ahead and test the brakes here. I didn't slam on them, but they are a nice solid brake. Yeah, not bad at all. As far as ride quality goes, again, these seats are top notch, so it feels like you're kind of floating a little bit. Super nice. Outside noise, relatively minimum. It could be better, I think, but it's pretty quiet. It definitely feels premium in that regard. Visibility is also great. Subaru always does a good job with visibility. No big, cladding or anything here up by this A-pillar. Just have a nice open window so you can see as much as possible. Big front glass, nice big rear view mirror. The rear opening is not bad either. You have a lot of visibility in this cabin here. Again, I am not really applying any pressure to the steering wheel other than just holding on to it so it knows I'm here. And it's doing a really good job of keeping me in the middle of the lane. Not only do you have this adaptive cruise control, the lane centering, but you have all those other Subaru safety systems: forward collision warning, front pedestrian braking, rear automatic braking, cross traffic alert, blind spot monitoring, you name it, you've got it here in the Touring Legacy. As we kind of close this section of the video, again, just keep in mind the acceleration, even with the 2.4 liter turbo, it's nothing to write home about. There is that little bit of lag with the Lineartronic CVT that you've got going here on this one, but it's not horrible. Ride quality, again, comfort top notch. The lane centering and adaptive cruise control works great. The rest of the other Subaru systems work really well. Ease of use on the display, not bad. Braking's pretty good. As far as visibility, again, fantastic. So really my only complaint is just that acceleration. In a sedan that's smaller like this, not having really a lot of get up, with 277 pound-feet of torque, you know, on an engine like this and that delay, it takes away from the experience a little bit. But other than that, I'm a huge fan of the Legacy. All right, guys, and that is the 2021 Subaru Legacy Touring XT. Drop a like on the video if you loved it. Tell me in the comments down below, what do you think about the Touring here? Is this the trim you'd grab, or is there one that you prefer? Let's have a conversation down in the comments, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button to be one of the first to see every single new video the second I hit publish. We'll see you in the next one.